Uh, Today we are going to see the difference between the space lattice and crystal or crystal structure. Let us see the difference. First, crystal or the crystal structure. Before going to the differences between the space lattice and the crystal structure, first we should know what is the definition of the crystal and as well as the space lattice. Let us see the crystal structure definition of the crystal definition. It is nothing but a three-dimensional periodic arrangement of atoms in space. If you see the space lattice, it's nothing but a three-dimensional periodic arrangement of points. Three-dimensional periodic arrangement of points in space. So let us see the differences now. Crystal as well as the space lattice. If you see the definition, the crystal is nothing but a three-dimensional periodic arrangement of atoms in space. When it comes to space lattice, it is nothing but a periodic arrangement of points in space. So let's see the differences. In crystal, we have atoms. In case of space lattice, we have points. So the crystal is nothing but a physical entity because we have atoms here. Whereas a space lattice is purely a geometrical concept because we are only considering the points, arrangement of points in space. So it's only the geometrical concept. Since crystal is a physical object or entity, it has some physical properties like weight, density, or conductivity, etc. These are all the properties which you can measure. And when it comes to the space lattice, we cannot weigh a space lattice, right? Because it's only just a piece, it's just a points in space, like arrangement of points on a paper. So you can't weigh it. It's just a geometrical concept. So it can only have a geometrical properties. We can't weigh a lattice, space lattice, or find its density or conductivity or etc. Since it's a geometrical concept, it can only have a geometrical properties. The major difference is that whether we are considering atoms or the points in space. That's what creates the crystal or the space lattice. If you are considering the atoms, it's the crystal. If you are considering the points being repeated in space, it's the space lattice. Otherwise, both are nothing but a three-dimensional periodic arrangement of atoms only. So, if you are considering atoms in space, it is crystal. If you are considering a points It's nothing but space lattice. There is a relationship between the crystal as well as the space lattice. That is nothing but crystal is nothing but the space lattice plus motif or basis. Here motif is the linking bridge between the crystal as well as the space lattice. Let's see the definition of the motif or basis. It's nothing but an atom or group of atoms associated with each lattice point. For example, let us consider the space lattice. I have infinite number of points in space in a periodic manner. So if we have to convert it to crystal, we have to put motif here. A motif can be an atom or a group of atoms associated with each lattice point. For example, I am keeping one atom at each lattice point. Say for example, it is chromium atom I am keeping at each lattice point. So this becomes a chromium crystal. So the motif or the basis tells you what to repeat in a periodic fashion, whereas the lattice tells you that how the atoms should be repeated. So the lattice tells you how to repeat the atoms. In 3D space, whereas motif or basis tells you what to repeat, what atom to repeat in 3D space. So basically, if you see in crystal, the lattice tells you the periodic arrangement. So the underlying periodicity of the crystal is given by the lattice, how to repeat, how the atoms has to be repeated. Whereas the motifs tells you that what to repeat, which atom to be repeated in a periodic fashion. So the lattice basically gives you the underlying periodicity of the crystal.